Live from the IRC television studios on the SUNY Oneonta campus, this is Oneonta News Now. I'm Joanna Weinheimer.
And I'm Caitlin Horrit.
Before we start the news, meteorologist Dustin Pennington joins us with a look at the Oneonta weather cam.
Thanks, Johanna. Good evening, everybody. Happy hump day to you. You made it through the middle of the week. We got a lot going on weather-wise out there, especially a lot of windy conditions outside and images like this. Snowfall in sunny weather. Kind of strange, but that's New York for you. I'll have more details on what's going on by the end of the week and the weekend coming up in a little bit.
Thanks, Dustin. Coming up next, we have your campus and local news. Stay tuned to Oneonta News Now.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
In campus news, SUNY Oneonta's criminal justice program is one of the best in New York, according to Zippia, a career planning site that uses data from the National Center for Education Statistics and College Scorecard. SUNY Oneonta was included in Zippia's list of 10 best colleges for criminal justice in New York, a ranking that considered career outcomes, criminal justice emphasis, a cost of attendance, and amount of debt, among other factors. The ranking comes as no surprise to Carolina Stipolkowski, a senior criminal justice major from Brooklyn. "I think it's one of our lesser known majors, but it shouldn't be," she said. "There are so many unique classes you can choose from in this major that can open your eyes to new things." Designed to prepare students for employment and or further study in criminal justice occupations, SUNY Oneonta's criminal justice major has a criminological focus, concentrating on the causes and consequences of crime, community relations, and analysis of criminal justice policy. Recent graduates of the program are pursuing careers or further study in fields such as law enforcement, corrections, and crime policy.
For local news, a murder defendant, Jeremy P. Coates, is to appear in Chenango County Court in Norwich on Monday for the start of a trial, officials say. Coates, 47 of Norwich, was charged September 29, 2016 with first-degree murder for intentionally causing the death of David Green, 58, of Oxford. Jury selection will start Monday morning in the trial before County Judge Frank B. Rivar, Jr., court officials said, and trial is expected to take about 2 weeks. Coates entered a not guilty plea during arraignment October 31st, 2016, officials said, and the defendant is being presented by public defender John Cameron. Coates remained held on bail in Chenango County Jail, officials said. Green, 58, was found dead in the living room of his 221 Charles Kelly Road home, the town of Oxford, by Chenango County deputies who responded to a Monday, September 26, 2016 call about a deceased man. An autopsy reported that the cause of death as a blunt force trauma, according to deputies who said Green had died the previous Friday night or Saturday. Melissa Crispell, 43, of Oxford, also was arrested September 29, 2016 in the case. Deputies charged her with a second-degree murder for causing a death during the commission of a robbery and acting in consort with another person.
On Friday, Oneonta's World of Learning, or OWL, hosted a science workshop on pollinators. Children ages 10 and younger were playing in the center's multiple rooms, surrounded by a colorful palette of spring and butterflies. Liz Brown, a volunteer and former board member, led the workshop, which was a mix of free play, crafts, and information on butterflies, bees, bats, hummingbirds, and other pollinators. Stations were set up where children could paint a mural with stamps of different pollinators and flowers, construct flowers out of wire cleaners and tissue paper, or connect pollinators to flowers that attract them. The children learned about different kinds of flowers, a butterfly's life cycle, and some insect anatomy. The workshop occurred during a spring break for local students, offers an activity for children that was playful and educational. It was not a drop-off program. Parents got involved in the projects too. During breaks, it's great to come, Lack said. It's age equivalent science learning and very hands-on also. The kids loved it.
A routine traffic stop resulted in felony drug charges on Sunday, March 25th, according to New York State Police. Troopers pulled over Taylor L. Airwyke, 23, of Windsor, for a traffic violation and learned he was driving with a suspended license. An investigation of the defendant's vehicle led to troopers uncovering MDMA, cocaine, marijuana, and various paraphernalia. In Airwyke's vehicle, troopers found 2 plastic bags containing 15.6 grams of marijuana and a third bag containing 12 grams. Airwyke also had 0.9 grams of white crystal MDMA, 1.4 grams of MDMA root extract, 4.3 grams of cocaine, 2 smoking pipes with marijuana and cocaine residue, and electronic scale, and 81 small plastic baggies. Airwyke was arrested on charges of 5th-degree criminal possession of more than 25 grams of marijuana, a misdemeanor, 4th-degree criminal possession of a stimulant, a felony, and 2 counts, 3rd-degree criminal possession of hallucinogenic substance. A felony bail was set at $25,000 cash and $50,000 bond during his arraignment in the town court of Greene. According to officials at the Chenango County Jail, Airwyke posted bail on Tuesday.
Thanks, Caitlin. We have your local entertainment news when we come back. Stay tuned to Oneonta News Now.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
We're back with your local entertainment news update with Natalie Costanzo. What's going on this week on campus, Natalie?
Well, Step Oneonta, Step Africa. This African-American step dance troupe will be here on campus on Monday, April 9th at 9:00 p.m. in the Hunt Union Ballroom. This step dance troupe pays homage to Zulu and South African gumboot dance. Not only will they be performing, but they will share the step tradition with the audience through shared participation and end their show with a complex, polyrhythmic percussive symphony that will make everyone want to get up and dance. Come join the Activities Council and the troupe. You will be engaged through clapping, stomping, and call and response patterns with the performers. The event is free for all with a SUNY Oneonta ID and $3 for all others. Stomp, step, and learn about different cultures and styles of dance with Step Africa. Fake news, nutrition, fake nutrition. What does this even mean? Ford Residence Hall is here to help you bust all of the fad diet and detox myths that are creating fake news about nutrition. Join this residential life community as they host this event on busting all of your favorite myths when it comes to healthy eating. Come with questions or just sit back and hear as program leaders explain the real facts regarding healthy eating and how you should eat to reach your nutrition goals. This event will be held in the Ford Hall Game Lounge on Monday, April 9th from 7 to 9:30 p.m. Lead credit for healthy behavior will be offered to participants. I can't wait to hear if the juice fad really works. Do any of you girls know people that participate in fad nutrition?
I just know a few people that like to eat vegan. They like to
Yes,
eat clean.
veganism. Mhm.
Yeah.
That's a great one. I know the juice detoxes are big.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So, interesting. Well, we will find out for sure if they work. 30th anniversaries are not something to be taken lightly, or should I say quietly. Come join the SUNY Oneonta Music Industry Club as they celebrate 30 years of music making and organizing this Sunday, April 8th from 4 to 6 p.m. in the Hunt Union Ballroom. Mike will be hosting this 6-hour-long concert series to celebrate this milestone. The event will feature music from Just a Pipe Dream, which features SUNY Oneonta students themselves, One for the Braves out of Poughkeepsie, New York, Shore Break out of East Islip, New York, Young Culture out of Albany, Koji from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Grayscale from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and With the Punches from Newburgh, New York. Tickets are on sale now for the event. They are $8 for pre-sale student tickets and $10 at the door. Non-students have a $2 upcharge for the pre-sale and at the door tickets. Let's celebrate this accomplishment with some good music. You won't want to miss this event. Hey Oneonta, interested in who might be New York State's newest mayor? We'll come to the Red Dragon Theater this Wednesday, April 4th at 6 p.m. to meet Larry Sharp. Mr. Sharp and SUNY Oneonta will be hosting a town hall style event for students to meet the New York governor candidate. You can ask questions and get to know a potential future leader of New York State. This unique opportunity for our students to take part in democracy and hopefully encouraging students to vote in this year's election for New York State Governor. This event is hosted by SUNY Oneonta's Young Americans for Liberty group and the Student Association. Lead credit for social responsibility will be given out to attendees. I think it's pretty cool that you have the opportunity to meet a potential New York State Governor. So,
That's great. History in the making.
yes,
Love it.
absolutely.
Exactly,
I think it's great. So that's it for all of your ONN entertainment news this week. Be sure to attend those great events.
Thanks so much, Natalie, for joining us. We have your national news coming up, so stay tuned to ONN.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Jesse Hernandez will never forget this Easter, though he'd probably like to. The 13-year-old Los Angeles resident spent nearly 12 hours in the city's sewer system after he fell into a drain pipe about 4:30 p.m. on Sunday. Hernandez and some friends climbed a chain-link fence around an abandoned maintenance shack in Los Angeles Griffith Park and started jumping on wooden planks inside the building, according to the Los Angeles Times. When the planks broke, Hernandez dropped 25 feet down into a 4-foot-wide pipe that was filled with toxic water that was flowing at about 15 miles per hour. In order to find the boy, officials mounted a camera to a flotation device that had a rope attached and sent it 300 feet down the sewage pipe. With the help of the camera, officials found Hernandez and were able to pull him up from the sewer. Hernandez went through decontamination before being taken to a hospital. He was released from the hospital by 11:15 a.m. Monday.
Amazon stock sank 5% on Monday after President Donald Trump attacked the company on Twitter. The company has lost $60 billion in the market value after Trump caused Amazon for taking advantage of the U.S. Postal Service. He also suggested that Amazon does not pay their fair share of tax. In fact, Amazon pays the same lower rate that the post office charges other bulk shippers, and it collects sales tax in every state that charges it. The president has said he dislikes Amazon because CEO Jeff Bezos also owns the Washington Post. He has said without proof that he believes Bezos uses the newspaper to lobby for Amazon's business interests. In one of the tweets, Trump says, "Only fools or worse are saying that our money losing post office makes money with Amazon. They lose a fortune, and this will be changed. Also, our fully tax-paying retailers are closing stores all over the country, not a level playing field." Trump has tweeted about Amazon 4 times in the last week.
3 kids from Hertfordshire, England are being honored for saving a suicidal man's life. Devontae Cafferkey, 13, Sammy Farah, 14, and Sean Young, 12, rushed to grab a man sitting with a rope around his neck on the edge of an overpass in Waltham Cross. Cafferkey and Farah refused to let the man go while Young called for help. Young found 47-year-old Joanne Stammers, who took over from the boys and held onto the man for what feels like forever. The Hertfordshire Police nominated Stammers, Cafferkey, Farah, and Young for national awards from the Royal Humane Society, a charity promoting life-saving interventions. The 3 boys, who go to St. Mary's High School, also picked up special achievement awards at the Broxburn Youth Awards for their bravery. I'm extremely proud of all 3 of them. They are all good boys, and it's nice that they are getting recognized for doing something good in the community, Young's mom said.
A fugitive who murdered his girlfriend was captured in North Carolina after being on the run for 2 days. The search for Keatron Foots began when he fatally shot the mother of his children in the driveway of their home in Stone Mountain, Georgia. DeKalb County Police were monitoring the use of Foots' cell phone when they noticed cellular activity in Granville County. Authorities say he fired several gunshots into his girlfriend, Shakira Bowman's vehicle. Multiple rounds struck the 35-year-old woman, and she was pronounced dead at the scene. Deputies received a call from a person saying Foots was hiding underneath a carport at a residence in Vance County. The local deputies found Foots in a motel parking lot, but were unable to apprehend him as he fled the scene. Foots ended up crossing state lines as he made his way towards North Carolina.
Thanks, Caitlin. When we come back, Dustin Pennington will take a look at your 5-day weather forecast. Stay with us.
If you don't fix them, sparks from dragging tow chains could cause a wildfire, and that could be scary.
Bye, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Oneonta News Now. Let's find out what the weather has in store for us this week with our meteorologist, Dustin Pennington.
Thanks, Caitlin. Guys, it's been an interesting day. We started out with rain yesterday, and we're continuing to have a little bit of rain today, clearing out a little bit, but the big story right now has been the wind. Let's take a look at what's going on with your weather out there. Starting our low, we started out at 38 degrees, a little bit above average for this time of year, and then we quickly worked up to an average of 51, going right above 49 degrees. Fortunately, we didn't have a record set of 73 back in 1981. That would have been nice if we could reach that point. But what's interesting is that this high of 51, that'll be the lowest we'll be at for the next several days, in fact. Let's look at the current conditions in Oneonta. Temperature at 48 degrees. Feels like 28 degrees though, with a west wind coming out about 30 miles per hour. Definitely sparking up a lot of high wind warnings across the state today. And rightfully so, those temperatures are going to continue to drop before we hit sunrise tomorrow morning. And that's not just for Oneonta, that goes for everybody across the area, hovering around upper 30s to the low 40s across the area. Places like Hunter and Albany, you're topping out 48 degrees. In Kingston, you're at 52, lower than the rest of us. Let's take a look at the weather. You can definitely picture or see where that storm system was earlier today. Cold front has passed us to the east and all the precipitation has gone with it, but now we have this area to the west that's kind of blowing in over our area. That's all the backlash of the system as well as some lake effect that's developing from the circulation around the system, especially with winds coming out of the west and the northwest. So here's our setup. What's going on out there? Well, the storm system is up to our north. Cold front has passed us to the east. We're in that northwesterly flow, which could cause some wake effect snow overnight and into tomorrow morning. And then we have this high pressure system that's developed off into the southern plains. This will gradually work its way to the northeast, clear out our weather, but it won't end the snowfall risk. Unfortunately, this high pressure and in conjunction with the low pressure is what's feeding that lake effect that we'll see through tonight and possibly even tomorrow morning. So looking at the temperatures for tonight, we are dropping substantially all the way down to the low 20s, 23 in Oneonta, 22 in Walton, even 15 degrees up in Lake Pleasant, back to the teens. We're already in the second week of April. Still feels like winter for most of us. And the forecast, pretty much snowy for some areas. Syracuse, chance of rain and snow. Some places like Kingston and Honesdale farther south into Pennsylvania, you're going to be in partly cloudy skies. Then we go into tomorrow. That high pressure system settles into the northeast. The storm system that we had today has pretty much moved out into Canada, but we're still at the risk for some lake effect off Lake Ontario, maybe a little bit off Lake Erie that will blow eastward across the state and continue to give us risk for snow showers throughout the day. Temperatures on Thursday, much lower than they were today. Pretty much hovering around the mid to low 30s. Some places like Middleville, you're at 45. Albany, you're at 43. Some places in the 40s, but definitely cooler than it was today where everyone was hovering around 50. Tomorrow, Thursday's forecast, same kind of deal. Syracuse and Utica, you guys are looking at a chance of snow, especially in Oneonta, we're looking at more snow. However, some places like Lake Pleasant and Albany, Kingston, and Homestead, you guys are looking at pretty sunny conditions, mostly because you're out of the reach of that lake effect and you're farther north of the lake effect risk. Mostly the risk will be in central New York tomorrow. Moving on to Friday, though, it's a mess, huge mess. We have two systems that we're worried about on Friday. One of them is this low pressure system over southern Canada, just north of Michigan. This will gradually progress eastward and cause a lot more snow and rain for our area. Some places also have a freezing risk, especially along northern Pennsylvania towards the border. This one system will pass, and then there's this other system developing the southern plains right over northern Texas. This will mature into our next cyclone that will eventually move northeastward and bring more rain and snow towards the beginning of next week. Friday's highs, a little bit warmer than Thursday's highs, pretty much in the low 40s, high 30s, such as 39 Cobleskill and 37 in Johnston. But again, still going to be snowy and probably dreary on our Friday. As we can see in the forecast, Syracuse, pretty much everybody across the board just has snow likely in the forecast thanks to that new system that is in southern Canada that will be pushing its way through. Looking at the week ahead, I expect that to remain the same through the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Snowy, pretty much snow across the whole board again. But what's interesting is the temperature is starting out 32 degrees on Thursday. We kind of warm up a little bit to 43, go back to the mid to the upper 30s over the weekend, and then back to the low 40s by the beginning of next week. So we're just having a roller coaster effect with our temperatures. That's being quite crazy. But speaking of which, let's take a look at what's going on outside with meteorologist Jason.
I'm student meteorologist Jason Cadwallader out here on Oneonta's campus. We've still got very windy conditions. We're under a high wind warning with gusts up to 40 and 50 miles per hour with sustained winds around 30. Currently, we've got some snow showers in the air, very light. We had a cold front come through earlier in the day, bringing down the temperatures, and we've got some overcast skies. Back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks a lot, Jason. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Remember to grab your winter coats. Winter is not over for us yet, but hopefully spring's a coming. Maybe by the end of April, we'll finally start feeling like spring. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, Dustin. For more world news, tens of thousands of Oklahoma and Kentucky teachers walked out classrooms on Monday morning in demand of better education funds for students. The teachers were inspired by West Virginia teachers who went on strike and won a pay raise from their state leaders. The Oklahoma protesters are rallying for higher teacher and support staff raises, as well as increased funding for education, while the Kentucky teachers are protesting what they call the bait and switch changes to their pensions. Several school districts were forced to shut down due to the walkouts. Kentucky teacher Irma Jones said she was walking out for her students who were forced to deal with terrible conditions due to a lack of proper school funding.
A 17-year-old from Houston applied to 20 colleges and was accepted into all of them with full rides and an additional $260,000 in scholarship offers. Michael Brown, currently a senior at Mirabue B. Lamar High School, has gone viral after a video of him receiving his acceptance to Stanford University was posted on YouTube. Other schools that have offered him a place are Harvard, Princeton, Northwestern, Georgetown, Yale, and Vanderbilt. Brown has said that he plans on majoring in political science and eventually becoming a lawyer. He wants to do his best to help other students of color, saying, "For me, it's important to highlight that I am not the only student of color who is achieving." He has received help from organizations such as Questbridge, Emridge Fellowship, and Breakthrough Collaborative, which provides students from low-income communities information about higher education options. Brown said that he wants people to be informed and get access to these same programs.
A man in Connellsville, Pennsylvania, who is known as the Hamburglar to local police, had to be rescued after his arrest when he tried to escape by jumping into a river. Sean Prince, 21, earned the name Hamburglar by authorities catching him on camera last April stealing $450 worth of hams from a Shop and Save. This past Saturday, police had handcuffed Prince when he attempted to escape and jumped into the Eugenie River. Fayette County EMS and the New Haven Fire Department were called in, and Prince was thrown a rope and pulled out. He was then treated at a Pittsburgh hospital for hypothermia and later taken to Fayette County Prison.
Thanks, Joanna. Stay tuned to ONN for your weekly sports update with Austin Tiderbaum.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
For Red Dragon News, the sophomore duo of Alyssa Bluchin and Julie Cabrero pitched SUNY Oneonta to a doubleheader sweep of Fredonia. Bluchin threw a complete Game 2-hit shutout in the opener, and Cabrero followed with a complete Game 6-hitter in the nightcap. Bluchin also pitched a scoreless 7th inning in Game 2 to earn a save. The 2 wins for the Red Dragons put them at 3-1 in the SUNYAC, while raising its overall record 9-7. Oneonta is scheduled to play Rensselaer on Tuesday at home, weather permitting. Also in Red Dragon News, the SUNY Oneonta men's lacrosse opened up SUNYAC play today with a 6-4 victory against Geneseo on the Red Dragon field on a beautiful spring day. The Red Dragons improved to 1-0 in the SUNYAC. Senior TJ Clements had a hat trick, including a game winner in the fourth inning. The Red Dragons take the field next against RPI in midweek matchup in Troy, New York. How do you think the Red Dragons are doing? Doing pretty good, eh? Really good.
Yeah.
Very good.
You guys ever watch the games?
No, but I am looking
Well,
forward
you should
to going
start.
to one.
You should start because this is my next story. I'm glad
we
my
go.
next story. Let's get this right here. Well, baseball is back, and you know what that means? The New York Yankees are back too. They did not disappoint as they beat the Toronto Blue Jays 6-1 for the first game of the season. And you know what? They look pretty good. Also, Giancarlo Stanton was officially introduced as a member of the new organization, the reigning National League MVP. It took all of 2 pitches for the Stanton to show the Yankees what he was made of, serving as a DH in the American League debut Thursday. Stanton homered twice, scoring 3 runs and driving in 4 as the Yankees celebrated a 6-1 opening day victory over the Blue Jays at the Rogers Center. This is going to be a great season for the Yankees. I can already feel it. Staying in baseball, Japanese baseball sensation Ohtani won his major league debut, throwing over 6 innings and leading the Los Angeles Angels past the Oakland Athletics 7-4 on Sunday. The two-way star from Japan took the mound 3 days after he was the designated hitter in the opener, reaching the upper 90s with his fastball and showing a nifty splitter. Ohtani struck out 6 and retired 14 of his final 15 batters. Ohtani didn't hit while pitching. Albert Pujols was the DH and went 0 for 5. And that's it for your weekly sports report.
Thanks, Austin. Join us again next time for your up-to-date news, sports, weather, and more. I'm Caitlin Horrit.
And I'm Joanna Weinhammer. This is Oneonta News Now. Have a great night.